before this movie begins, I'd like to ask everyone to please put their phones on silent or turn them off. Because it's once again time for the Osu Taiko World Cup 2025 this time. I'm Rafauj, and who else do I have here? Say hello.
You have me, Teasel.
Yay!
This is my 5th year casting, and I'm super happy to be back once again for such a big year. I feel like watching everything unfold so far, it's going to be a really exciting year with a lot of opportunities for teams that maybe haven't had such great opportunities before. So it's anyone's game.
Anyone's game. We've got a lot of new faces and a lot of old faces too.
Absolutely. Really bringing out the best of the best and representing what the World Cup is really all about. So we're going to kick the whole tournament off with the Qualifiers pool. It's a pretty short one. We have 7 maps total, with 3 no mod, 1 hidden, 1 hard rock, 1 double time, and 1 free mod.
Which means the first map is going to be no mod 1. There it is! There's no mod 1! Miracle Grape by Dinoco P!
The first map that you will play this year. Unless you decide to play another map yourself, but that would be silly. Play them in order. Because the Qualifiers is played in order. So it makes sense to do that.
Played in order, and you get to do it 2 times in case you mess up the first time.
It's not advised that you do, though.
Yeah, you want to make the best of what you got. I want to also point out that you don't have to play with perfect. We just had one of the playtesters saying, "Look at me, I'm really good."
Yeah, this is the new change that we've brought to this year. Yeah, this is no mod 1. This is it's filling the generic no mod 1 slot. This is all about your consistency. It's got your 1-6, it's got some streams in there. It's going to be kind of condensing a couple of different skill sets into one map, as it is a Qualifiers. You know, we only have so many maps, so you'll see a couple of different skill sets represented in each map. So yeah, you have a bit of your technical stuff with the 1-6, you have some streams, there's a bit of SV going on as well. It's just all about your general consistency.
Yeah, this is like a little mini TV for No Mod 1.
Yeah, and it's also, it's not too long, 2.5 minutes. Normally, I feel like it's a trend that's kind of changing, but no mod 1s, traditional at least in the past, have normally been very long. Oh, we even have like a mini slow jam section here.
That's what I mean, it's a mini TB. But with forced no mod. In the actual rounds you get to choose free mod.
Yeah, things looking good. Definitely a lot of opportunity for players to make mistakes, both new and experienced alike. But of course, very doable as we have a new player on Perfect.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a semi-spoiler. The sort of layout for the pool is that no mod 1, possibly no mod 3, DT1 and Free Mod 1 are the more accessible maps that we sort of expect people to do fairly well on, while the mod maps are a little more specialized, so to speak.
And there it is, keeping it short and simple. And yeah, should be a good test of skill across the teams, and hopefully it won't be too much of an accuracy battle.
Yeah. Unlike No Mod 2, which is likely not going to be an accuracy battle at all.
Yeah, so this is A Fight in Tunisia, which is a collab song between Sobram and Iwashi, so you know it's going to be a really good one. It was an Osu original for the 4-Key World Cup 2024.
Yeah, already representing the other game modes here.
Would it really be a taiko qualifiers pool without a bit of jazz in there?
Exactly.
So that's what this is fulfilling, and tech as well.
It's jazz. It's kind of slow, So some might think, oh, I can single tap this, but if you do that, you have to be extremely good. Because you have that little thing there, like a 1-8-1-6 mix. You need to have perfect control.
Yeah, so I mean, you say, yeah, I'm sure there will be some players out there that will think, I can single tap this, and they will single tap this. But for the majority of people, it's all about the finger control of these different snappings paired with the lower BPM of 148. And of course, plenty of bursts and different awkward patterns just to keep you on your toes. As you said, this is probably not going to be an accuracy battle. We're expecting players to pick up misses on this one, so try to minimize them as much as possible. Even our replayer didn't manage to play this with perfect, so don't feel too bad if you don't play perfectly either. Overall, I'm feeling like the patterning is generally not too bad. I feel like it plays a bit more into like the different snappings and finger control rather than the awkwardness of patterns, which you sometimes see in tech maps. So, you know, at least it's not kind of going way too overboard for the qualifiers, as we do have to consider the skill sets of the entire range of teams that have signed up and put together.
Yeah, exactly. As we say that, though, we go into a little bit of a harder section. With this pattern right there.
Oh, that one's definitely going to trip up a couple of people.
Yeah, tripped up the test players quite a few times.
Well, the test players we have this year are pretty good.
Yep, that just goes to show that it's not free.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to make it too easy. We wouldn't want anyone like double S-ing every single map or anything.
There you go, there's your no mod 2. Now, no mod 3 might be a little bit unexpected because we are deviating from the norm and not having a gimmick map. Instead, we're having a pure speed map with Ashram's Galvanizer.
I believe, personally, that's probably a really good approach to take, because generally you would see like speed only kind of be represented in like double time, or maybe just like the speed in hidden as well. So by kind of having a speed dedicated map, it frees up double time and hidden to kind of represent their own specific skill sets a bit more, while also allowing speed, which is a very integral part of taiko, to have its entire own dedicated slot, especially as speed is represented more and more as you get further up into the difficulties pools.
Exactly, yeah. Common complaint last year when we had a gimmick map in qualifiers was that, oh, this is only really represented by one map in future pools, so what's the point of having it affect seeding so much? And, you know, fair point. So we removed it.
Let me see, I also believe that this song is additionally from MWC 4 2024 as a also original.
Yep, we love our Mania guys here.
Yeah, Mania songs translate to taiko pretty well most of the time.
I mean, most of the time, yeah. As we saw the last map and now this map.
Of course, with the freedom of creating pulls, we're allowed to cherry pick here and there, but... Yeah, with this map, the patterning seems fairly simple overall. Interesting seeing those finishers towards the end. Don't look too difficult overall. But yeah, it's pretty much just testing the raw speed. That's what it's all
raw
about.
Raw speed and sort of finger control with the unconventional rhythms in some parts.
Yeah. Once again, if we just made it like a pure speed map with like nothing else going on, it would just be who can tap 288, but you need to add something else in there just to develop the skill set a bit more. Make sure that you're really testing who can and who can't do this.
Speaking of skill
And
sets, let's go into Hidden, everyone's favorite mod, right? Right?
of course. And we're seeing
Nice.
a very well-known song here, Four Veiled Stars by Billy Emoto. This has been in various levels of tourneys at different difficulties, but here it shows up as a hidden in the qualifiers.
Yeah, this song has to be one of the most pulled Osu songs. And here we are only inflating those numbers with Hidden 1.
Starting off with a fairly slow hidden. Looks, just with like the slowly increasing and decreasing SV. But the parroting is simple. It's just more about can you read slightly slower SV. But with the style of song this is, I'm also expecting high SV, such as this.
There you go! Since we only have one hidden map, we have to cover both ranges, both high and low speed.
And, for everyone that knows the song, this is pretty much the perfect song to do it with.
Yeah, I mean, if you know the song, you can tell that now we're going into another slow part. They're so perfectly segmented. Like, oh, low intensity, low intensity again.
Here's the high intensity again. Mixing up with some high SV streams with some lower SV technical pattern. Some very minor overlaps as well.
Yeah, I like that right there.
Yeah. The kind of overlaps where maybe if you're sight reading it might throw you off, but once you've given the map a couple of tries, it shouldn't be an issue. And back to the high SV. Fortunately, all the 1.6 does look pretty conventional. It's the kind of thing that every player will have encountered everywhere in the sort of maps that they play, especially if you're playing maps from, say, like the 2018-2020 era.
Yeah. I mean,
So it might
having
look a bit
both high
difficult
and
on
low
paper,
speed,
but
both high and low speed in one map might not really be representative of future pools, but that tech definitely will be.
and of course, what's hidden without hard rock? The evil counterpart.
Wait a minute, that's not hard rock, that's free mod. Well, I guess we're looking at free mod. Let's go.
Oh yeah. So free mod, normally represented by the color green, we have Chartreuse green.
Yeah,
With this
it's the Preacher
adorable
feature,
background.
featuring the Preacher.
Oh yeah. So this map is 180 BPM, roughly pretty much the most like borderline flat BPM there kind of is. So you can already tell that this is going to be something that's treated to be kind of fairly accessible to both hidden and hard rock, as well as hidden hard rock. It's not going to be completely free, because of course we want to test your ability to stack those mods up as a team. So as you see, the slowing down SV section, and there'll be some higher SV as well scattered throughout the map. But it's up to you to decide if you want the hard rock, or the hidden hard rock. Is no mod an option for free mod? Or is it forced?
No mod is indeed an option. You don't
All
technically
right.
have to choose anything.
So you can keep things simple, but of course, stacking on those mods will give you a score advantage. And if you want to seed high, you're going to want to be getting as much advantage as you can.
Exactly. It's a sort of halfway between anti-mod and moddable. It's not going to be completely impossible with hidden hard rock, but it will be noticeably difficult.
Yeah, here's our higher SV section now. We see the notes are a bit more spaced apart, and that will be accentuated further with the addition of hard rock.
And there you go. Free mod wrapping itself up after that little speed bit.
There
Very
it is.
nice.
All right,
I
which
wake
map
up,
will we
I
see
go.
next?
Which will it be?
That's
Right,
double
we're going
time.
BT. Let's go. We're going backwards now.
So of
So,
course,
DT.
we love Nano Hero. A
We
whole
sure
lot,
do.
like a whole lot.
This is a repeat for those who played in the Nanahira Taiko Cup. We figured, hey, it works here too, so let's give it another spin.
The Nano Hero Cup was a long time ago, was it not?
It was quite a long time ago now, so
I
might serve
imagine.
as a bit of a refresher.
Yeah, so for the people that potentially played in it, it's something that they'll have not played in a long time. So, you know, there's no kind of advantage to having played in that tournament recently because it was so many years ago. And for the new people, it can be a bit of a taste of what was around in the past as well.
Alright, it seems like we've actually been trolled here.
Have
The
we?
mapper's in the chat saying the description is a joke. This is not from the Nanahira Taiko Cup.
Oh my days.
This is a great show.
Right. Start the stream again. Take it from the top.
Alright, please turn off your phones. The stream's about to begin.
Good thing no one had their phones on to record all these mistakes that we've been making.
Yeah. Anyways, about the map, since we had a proper raw speed Nomad 3, this is a bit slower and more stamina focused.
This song didn't even exist during the Nano Hero Cup.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah, mixing. I'm liking the mix of getting some doublets in there for the even plit and the odd plit patterning as well, just to keep things kind of interesting.
Yeah, one might argue that this is a mix of both DT1 and DT2, since, you know, some weird rhythms, some speed, and right at the end here, some SV.
Yeah, looks pretty good. It looks good as an attempt to kind of combine those two sort of things together. It won't be perfect, of course, but looks pretty good to me, and I hope you all enjoy it.
And I hope
Will
you
we
also
see
enjoy the last
the
map of
legend,
the pool.
the legendary Hard Rock? There it is,
Hard Rock
evolutionary
one.
anima, spicy chicken sandwich.
Map by Skull Kid, our favorite song.
is
very recent.
Is spicy
Just a couple
chicken
weeks old.
sandwich like a reference to the McSpicy method?
Spicy chicken sandwich is actually a reference to a comment by the song's creator. Left on their SoundCloud, I think.
Nice. So I believe this one is also an Osu original. It was MWC 7 Key 2025. So it's only been around for a couple of weeks, and we're already using it here in the Taiko World Cup because it just fits so well.
It's so cool.
Of course, the main skill sets of Hard Rock generally tend to be your fast reading, and then your slower Hard Rock with the more technical aspect and accuracy. So we're seeing a mix of that here. The higher SV mixed with a bunch of 1.6.
Yeah, and then here
And
we have the
1.3.
speed part.
Cannot forget the 1.3.
Little 1-3 part with some very high speed spinners here. Don't get
Oh, and the
caught out.
doublets. Oh, and those monos as well, I imagine, is going to catch out quite a lot of bongo players, particularly if they're not hard rock players as well.
Yeah. Going into
Seems
the
like
main
a
chord,
good-
the last part.
Yeah, it seems like a good counterpart to the Hidden. The Hidden definitely had like its slower sections where it's going to be way more accessible to the Hidden players. This one, of course, Hard Rock generally a bit more accessible to non-Hard Rock players, but it's at a speed high enough where you're going to have to be a Hard Rock player to kind of get a really high score on this one.
Yeah.
This is really fast, actually. Maybe it's just because I'm a non-Hard Rock player, but I would be struggling a lot with this one.
I think the end there goes up to about 240, or the equivalent.
Yeah. And there it is. Just to quickly reiterate, the order that the maps will be played in is not the order that we have shown. You'll be playing them in the order of NoMod 1, 2, 3, Hidden, Hard Rock, Double Time, and then Free Mod. But this should be reflected in the order written on any sheet or anything that you see. Just the normal order that you would see in a tournament.
We're doing that next weekend, so, you have a lot of time to get it down, have time to practice the order and the maps themselves. And you also have time to, schedule your lobbies, which you'll have to do before Thursday, I believe. I'll be corrected if I'm wrong.
It's normally Thursday.
We'll go with that. Let's see. We'll go with that, and I don't think we have anything more to say here.
I don't think there's any kind of further announcements at the moment. I've not been told of any, at least. So yeah, just confirmation has to be by Thursday, 23:59 UTC. So just the end of Thursday, get a lobby in, discuss with your team, and do the very best that you can, because seeding oftentimes means everything. It determines all your matchups, where you are in the bracket. So do your best, and I hope you enjoy. And we will see you again for the results of the qualifiers, the seeding, and therefore continuing on with the tournament with the round of 32 showcase next weekend. Best of luck.
Be there.
And we'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
It slipped right through my fingers. It slipped right through my fingers. You said never let me go. I watched it fall away.
Stop trying. Open your eyes.
See the scenes in the background. It's Osu Taiko World Cup 2025 once again. Welcome to the circuit. My name is Yongin, and we are in the fair for a very exciting qualifiers results and the round of 32 map pool showcase. And this we will be leading I'll be leading this qualifiers results. And with me today, I got a new voice in the Osu live stream, which is going to be Botch. Hello.
Hello, it's me, Over the Hedge 2015. Yeah, we're both playing in this tourney, so I'm looking forward to this. We've already seen, how everyone's placed. We've had our fun of going, oh my gosh, at a few of the results, but now it's you guys' turn. So I think we get started.
Yeah, let's move on very quickly.
Let's get straight into
Our
the
first
teams.
team. Yeah, very exciting. We got 7 maps, and unfortunately we got our 36 team, Spain. We did a prediction showcase, prediction stream around 2 days ago, and all of us predicted how to be seed 36. Unfortunately, they just do not have enough members to play most of the maps.
Yeah, team of 4 all mode players. They had, as far as I'm aware, 1 taiko man on their team, and you know they're not a particularly high-end taiko player either. But I mean, just showing up with a team it's more fun than not showing up, right? And they actually did seed higher than they did last year, 36 as opposed to 40. So, yeah, staying last place for this year, but who knows what'll happen next year. They have good players.
Yeah, maybe the big names will sign up again for Spain, and they will do that, and they will, or possibly these multi-mode players, because we got some big names here. Aleph being a standard main, which I'm pretty sure most of you guys will know if you did watch the OWC. Raze being a cash main, and Lucas being a very high rank mania player as well. So they do have the potential. They are really good in some other game modes. Maybe they will become a taiko player one day.
Yeah. For now, though, it's seed 36, and on to seed 35, who we got? Costa Rica. Already we're seeing some variance in the ranks, right? A couple maps where they seeded top 32, good enough to qualify, but not quite there across the whole pool. You've already got names that you should recognize. Pui and Hotman, both veterans of the game. Hotman especially has been around the tourney scene for years and years, but probably some very significant third player issues here. You can already see we've jumped from like 1 mil scores to 2 mil, but 2 mil just didn't quite cut it this year. We only have 4 DNQ teams, by the way, so the next 2 are non-qualifiers, and then everyone else is in.
Yep, I'm surprised by some of the results from this team here, especially from the speed maps. But unfortunately, I don't think I think they just don't have the third player to present too well to match up to the qualifiers results. So we'll see how this but it's good to see Costa Rica will have a team. At least they do have a team this year. So now next one, moving on, we do have Lithuania, which is definitely a step up from placement from last year. They beat 2 teams this year. Last year I do believe they beat Estonia, and this year or Spain. Not actually Spain, yeah. So they are not last this year, so they definitely improved with more members as well this year, and did some average scores, especially on the no mod scores, all above 2 millions. So definitely a step up in that case.
Yeah, it's pretty decent already, right? I mean, you've got a team of 6 players, a couple of them are already close to 3-digit, but still really struggling on a couple of these maps. The hidden in particular stands out. Of course, that's the thing that if you're not super experienced in tourneys, you're most likely to completely die on, but yeah, they completely died, and it did pretty alright in a few of the other maps. I'm really surprised that 2.47 mil on the DT just isn't a qualifying score, because I thought it was one of the harder maps of the pool. Maybe I just suck at like 240 BPM, but I didn't think the qualifying bar was going to be as high as it is, especially with so few DNQ teams.
Yeah, a lot.
Anyway, who's the unlucky
believe
33? Oh, sorry.
I do believe that just a lot of teams are around just able to get like around 900k on DT, because people were saying that was the easiest map in the pool. But yeah, I think that's why the DT score being 2.4 million is just slightly out of the range.
Yeah, unfortunate for Lithuania. And who's gonna be 33rd? Who's gonna be in the unluckiest spot of all? And it's Latvia that deserves your sympathy this year. Hunty, you may well know, top 300 player, been around for a few years now, been kinda everywhere, but not able to get his team into the bracket here real close. I can tell you they were less than a rank on average per map away from making it. 32nd on No Mod 3 and Free Mod, sorry. Like, they're top 32 on a couple maps, but I get the feeling we're gonna see a decent ramp up in scores here. Because this is already a decent step up from Lithuania and Costa Rica.
They do have 3 players able to play the Force Mod map. all achieve at least a 900k on that pick. So they do have some pretty nice players, let's say, possibly going for some of the players going for no mod, such as new upcoming player Day Drinking, a pretty good no mod player, and also Raven Trent 2012, basically your veterans for the team, has played for many years, not just Taiko World Cup, also World Cup as well. So good to see them again, but they need a slightly more firepower to able to qualify. Maybe it'll be next year. And again, a nice step up from last year for not for beating again 3 teams this year, one hand touching the qualifiers result. So hopefully they do have the manpower and firepower to do it next year.
Yeah,
And
close for Latvia.
yep, next one we got one of the new countries for our Taiko World Cup, Bulgaria. Fosco 2-0 and Geocom. We do see 2 very high ranked players over there, and rounded by D'Angelo Love and number of C12AS. So this team, first time playing the Taiko World Cup, it's able to qualify. So congratulations to Bulgaria, and it's on such a good spot as well. You can see the mod approach is definitely a lot better in that case, which is the Hidden and Hard Rock, which because their third player can definitely hold up some type of scores on those maps. So good job.
Yeah, some pretty distinct strengths and weaknesses already. Like, they're probably decent at Hard Rock in particular, given they scored way higher on that than the Hidden, and also did quite well on the free mod. Like, it's just score-wise, out of the 7 maps, right? But then there are also some clear, picks for other teams maybe, in the likes of No Mod 2, your kind of tag. So, we're already starting to see real skill sets here. But on to 31. We've got Colombia. Now, this is a somewhat different team from prior years. No Zaretra, the kind of mainstay of Colombia that people, might remember, might be thinking, why isn't he here? Well, he's, I don't know, he's busy. But already seeing some top 30 placements. Almost 3 mil on the free mod. 2.7 on the DT. Just easily in qualifying range on pretty much every map now. Hidden, though, looking like a weakness. We've seen that for a lot of the teams so far.
Yeah, Hidden usually claims at least quite a number of souls on Hiddens in general, because filling in 3 hidden players on a team is very, very difficult. I did think this year's Hidden is a lot more practicable than other years, but still, Hidden could be a map that just completely bombs your qualifiers, but it's not enough for Colombia to just get exit out of the qualifiers range. So congratulations, despite the change, you're still able to make it through the next stage. And next team, seed 30th, is also a team that we need to congratulate, because this year they managed to make it to the actual stage and move past the unqualified range. Last year they were very unlucky, but this year they succeed on seed 30th. Portugal. Baby Snakes and Warp are 2 very big names for the team, rounded up by Movie Cat and Shinsui, so rounded up by 2 older players, which are definitely the 3rd player of the team. This year they definitely did enough job to help the team moving forward, and some pretty nice scores, but especially on Hard Rock, 2.65 million, definitely a big step up in that regard.
Yeah, first of all, I think Warp might be the happiest player in the world right now. Really, really wanted to qualify last year, and they ended up 1 sum of ranks away, despite Baby Snakes being the 10th strongest player individually in the qualifiers. This time he was only 12th, but Warp has gotten better to the point where they need it, with a couple spaces to go as well. That score spread on EHR looks pretty decent. So maybe a couple picks for the other teams to worry about. And nothing really super low on this team either. So we're gonna already see the teams are getting better.
Gonna add a few things about this team though. Free more, especially if the pool gets a bit easier. I do believe it's actually one of their scariest strengths, because of one particular player, Baby Snakes, and I do believe Rob can also fit in at least one mod, so definitely watch out the free mod, despite them being 30th seed.
Yeah, this team does have a couple pretty scary players in Baby Snakes and Warp, especially Baby Snakes. I would know that guy got his team to a mad upset over my dearest UK in my first year of playing TWC. Yeah, we got owned. But this year, curious to see what they can do. On to 29. And we've got Italy. They stay on. Obviously, this country has 5 extremely strong players that have played all together in prior years. They don't have that now, but they still have enough, strength, enough depth in their country to pretty comfortably make it onto the TWC stage. Last year, they seeded, I remember, 31st, and had to play the 2-seed UK. You might notice a theme with the matches, I remember. But yeah, a couple really good score sets here. 3-0, I think our first 3-0 in the DT. Top 25 on the Fremont. Looking pretty good. 5 decently strong players.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of surprised on the Fremont and double time. Like honestly, it seems like they do still have the mod advantage, especially players such as like Plasmas. EU can definitely do very well on the HD mod and DT mod as well. Fill in with some players on Hard Rock such as Gada and Kurozuki, so I've qualified a lot higher than I expected, so good job. I am wrong on saying they're DNQ.
Yeah, I think out of our prediction stream a couple days ago, I was the only one that believed in them to qualify. guess I can say I told you so. I'm sure you'll have a few of those moments coming up. But on to C28, who we got?
We got Peru. Same as last year, they did manage to qualify because they have, I would say, one pretty stand-up player, Ella Magno. Probably able to FC half of the maps in the pool, or it may possibly even all of the maps. But their second player, Dinky, more of a HD player, usually may struggle quite a bit on the Hard Rock, but this time they did quite a good, they did definitely a decent job, because achieving 2.4 millions on Hard Rock is not that easy. Right up by third, which is usually Koto-chan and Achikin, more of a speed player, but able to play no mod quite well, and DT quite well, sometimes Hard Rock, and they also enjoy playing Gimmick. And also because of free mod, it's not completely forced mod. You can put on no mod, so I think that helps them quite a lot on the free mod pick after all. Able to achieve 2.8 million, so once again, very rounded scores throughout all the maps. But however, I do believe they have a third player issue on HD picks, so it might be something dangerous for them in actual stage.
Yeah, really consistent seed spread here. 28 to 30 on absolutely everything, but just on an absolute score level, you can see that the hidden is quite a lot lower than everything else. So, I mean, they're going to have to face seed 5 in round of 32, so that kind of seed is probably scoring pretty similarly, as in very highly on everything, because looking at the top of this sheet, the top teams kind of manhandled this poll, so there might be some trouble spots for Peru early here, but yeah, the lower bracket could be pretty interesting. Alamagno, very strong. On to C27. We're going to continue with the South American theme here, actually. We've got Argentina. Big change from last year. No Zelling, who I remember FCing, really close to FCing, the round to 32 tiebreaker with HDHR in a match last year to win their round to 32 match. No Doodle, who was in the top 50, and that's pretty much all you need to know. They do still have the third kind of core member of last year's team, though, in Illustrious. And you probably see his work there in a lot of the scores. Pretty good at DT there. 3.1 mil already. And already getting very solid in a lot of the maps. Top 25 on about half the pool.
Yeah, and also having players such as Senshi, which is a name change from Max Spell, which is a name change from Aiko no Chikara, which is a name change from one more. I forgot about that, but he has barely a name change, and now he's now known as Senshi. I do believe he's actually able to FC some of the maps in the pool that I think most of us did not expect him to, and he also has quite a bit of other mode experience, so definitely did his job here. But once again, all eyes on the double time pool. Very good speed players, 3.1 million, able to act that map pretty well. At least like 3 players in that team, and solid roster. Definitely a bit of a downgrade compared to last year, but they able to still have some firepower to qualify and maybe take some points in the actual stages on the double time pick especially. So looking forward to them. And speaking of a downgrade, we're moving on
Speaking
to
of South America,
Yes, we are moving on
we
to
keep it going.
26 seed. We keep it going, yeah. 26 seed, Brazil. No Foxaroo, no Hero K, no big names, no Skid, no Miwu, no all the top 6 players, all the 6 players from last year are all gone, and they have exchanged to a completely brand new team. I am 2 did play in 1 year of Taiko World Cup before, but acting with some players that are slightly lower rank and also one 200 rank player, mostly lower rank, as some they do have a bit of rank restricted tournament experience, but not a lot after all. However, they still able to beat some teams here. The third player, or possibly second, actually able to beat some 3 digits on the other team, so that's definitely a W on their side. Your regular speed team, look at No More 3 after all, 2.7 million, despite being a 1000 rank player. At least one 1000 rank player has to get a 900k on that pick, so does No More 2, which is absolutely insane. A very speed enjoyer team, so look out at speed when against this team.
Yeah, Tutu and Spicy definitely the notable players here. If you just look at ranks alone, and I'm not sure, I haven't had the time to look at all the individual performances, but it seems like the sheet is also saying, yeah, those were their most important 2 players. But it looks like the rest of the team isn't too bad for support either. Got them to a pretty decent seeding, way higher than I expected. I had this team in DNQ, and I gotta eat my words. They did pretty good.
Oh, you trolled. You trolled your predictions. Definitely one of
Yeah,
the big surprise.
hey, it's okay. By the end of this, we'll all be saying, oh man, I trolled. On like
True.
7 teams or something. Anyway, on to seed 25. Only one sum of ranks ahead of Brazil, actually, for the 25th seed is going to be Switzerland. So this Taiko World Cup team is captained by Taiko World Cup, with Kalarmer, Nakarin, and Nakotile offering some pretty strong support. Most of their placements pretty good, but then they had to field Taiko World Cup on a map with Hidden, so they seeded quite a lot lower on the Hidden. It's really that simple. Yeah, MC2BP, also known as Taiko World Cup, is very strong all around, can kind of just play a bit of everything, can play extremely hard to read maps with EHR. I know that much. But yeah, his one particular weakness is Hidden, and I think the support is very good. Kalarm is actually very solid at everything as far as I know. Didn't really know his game until last year. And Nakarin and Nekotal are both pretty solid as well. No Ui this year, you might notice.
To be fair, we was not playing any maps, honestly, so
Yeah, signed up for a
so-
few years just to make sure they had a team.
True. And but yeah, Hidden's gonna be a big weakness for the team. I'm kind of surprised from Kalama did not play the HD maps, because I do believe they should be able to once again play the HD maps. But yeah, that definitely tanked their rank a bit, and I would say that's the big reason why they are 25th seed and not 24th. And with Kalama not presenting on HD pick, I'm pretty sure he might be missing in the actual qualifiers lobby, so maybe they'll be stronger when it comes to actual stages, and be able to upset one team. A small upset though, because it's still possibly a 1 team away if they manage to lose in their first matches, because they're gonna face a very rough opponent.
Yeah,
And
so go on.
yeah, one more thing is that I think the map pool formula changed No More 3 from gimmick change to speed also help a lot for this team, because once again, MC2BP, which is Taiko World Cup, does not like to play gimmick at all. So yeah, moving forward from 25th though.
Yeah, so this
24th?
will be Switzerland's projected opponent in round of 16 lower bracket, assuming the high seeds win their matches.
Yeah, it's gonna be Mexico. Another change in roster. I look at this as like a slightly positive change. We got some older names like Maximo, a very high ranked player, Gifan, but also making some players to come in, such as Hidetako, swap in, Aaron. Once again, a pretty swifty team. Usually does quite well on the speed, but honestly, I would say that Hidden Pigs is definitely a surprise. Able to get 22nd on that map. Not something I would expect coming out from this team, and also 21st on this tech map, a fight in Tunisia. So this team definitely make up for some of their, I would say, quote-unquote weakest skill set. So maybe a team that I was not expecting to do well on some of the maps, and definitely help them to push themselves away from the low seed category.
Yeah, a lot of decently high ranks on this team if you just look at, the column on the left there, and I think that, kind of excess of tapping for the early rounds will probably help them. Just in the fact that their important match at this seed range, at least you'd expect, is going to be first round losers bracket, so it's going to be a slightly harder pull than round of 32. They're not going to be sweating the absolute ackest of the ack maps. And that might be a bit nicer for them, but they are going to have to face probably, maybe Switzerland, unless they make us put some huge respect on their names. So that could be a pretty interesting match. I like the look of that one. We're starting to see a couple matchups here already. But on to seed 23, we have got Canada. So you might recognize Kombucha 457. You might also recognize that their top two players from the prior few years, Dizay and Escroot, are gone. They are just not feeling the game so much right now, and it's kind of just Kombucha. But this is a completely different Kombucha 457 to last year. Last year, that player was already very, very good. He was good at the game. But now he's done pretty well in EGTS recently. The big 1v1 top players only if you even want a chance at qualifying tournament. He's got some experience to his name, and he's got a lot more skill than he had last year. And the support, I don't know quite as much about it. I know Coconut Human won the Taiko French tournament just a month or two ago, but the support is clearly pretty good. You look at some of these scores, I think our first top 20 showing on Nomad 3, pretty solidly able to play everything in the pool, except, again, that Hidden kind of nagging at their heels a bit.
Yeah, if you have played some 4-digit tournaments, you definitely will realize some of these names on the team, such as like Flickaroo and Coconut Human, which recently got back to 3-digit. Coconut Human actually performed better than Kombucha on all of the no mod maps, by the way. So a very strong player, but unfortunately, I do believe Flickaroo was missing in the lobby play, in the qualifiers lobby. That's why they got a lot lower score than they can, especially on the HD map, because they are forcing one of the non-HD players to play the HD map, and Coconut Human basically able to do everything. Slightly weaker on the HD mod, but still. They got a third player issue, but if Flicker is back, I do believe this team will see it quite a bit higher, especially rising up some of the ranks such as like HD picks, Hard Rock picks, and possibly some of the no mod picks as well. So a scary, a free mod picks. So another very scary team that might able to upset another team, in the upcoming stage. Probably the higher rank on the 17 to 24, but I would say this team has some firepower in there. I'm just not
Yeah.
seeing. I just don't see them doing it, but maybe I'm wrong in the actual stage.
Especially for early rounds, I would say this team looks pretty good. I think they're one of the scarier teams around this seed range. And also, I want to mention Kombucha came 21st in just overall individual performance here out of the 166 players in the tourney. Pretty strong when you consider almost all the other players in that range are from the absolute top teams that we'll get to later. Really good showing from him.
Yep.
On to seed 22.
Seed 22, and this is our disagreement in prediction show stream, which is going to be New Zealand. I did not put them in top 16. However, they have been upsetting some teams. I finally have a team back. Last year they did not participate, but they did participate in 2023 and got top 16. But some of their players definitely got a lot better, such as Sekdos now become basically a all-rounder. And Sparks, as usual, really good at HD mod, but they just kind of have a third player to fit in most different maps. Usually IDK are more of like a regular tapping, Blue Jay as well. Also on HD as well, Blue Jay forced to play HD, and Ali on the speed and on the streams map, and that's why you can see the speed map. Number 19 on double time. That is a pretty good spot once again. Another, I would say 1-4 heavy team due to how their third player plays out. But another team that requires the top 2 players to do a little bit of a carrying, I would say, but not an uncarryable third, let's say.
Yeah, I think Zadox is like the clear-cut single carry now. I mentioned Kombucha being 21st in individual. Zadox was 13th, just right below Baby Snakes from Portugal. Really strong player. Was already beating Sparks in 1v1 tournaments a couple of years back, if I recall correctly, and has only gotten better. And Sparks isn't any slouch, and I think the rest of their players actually provide pretty good support. I think this team could still win 2 matches and not play their seat, but yeah, maybe I was a little bit high on them, and this seed reflects their true placing. There's only one way to find out in the next couple of weeks. Also, welcome back. You didn't have a team last year. Where were you? Anyway, moving on to C21. We've got... This team popped off. I was not expecting this. We've got Slovakia, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that no-mod. Actually, look at the no-mods in general. That's like a lot better of a spread of scores than the no-mods that we've seen from anyone so far. Our first top 16 placing on no-mod 3. It's kind of weird to me that the DT is one of their lower placements, considering this seems like a really raw mechanics team. But like they were a lot better on the Hard Rock and even the Hidden than on the DT. Never in Golden, obviously very, very strong players. Never really known to be tourney-oriented. Never's rank is like half of what it shows on screen right now, by the way. He's like ranked 33 now. He farmed a wee bit. But never actually qualifying for EGTS, taking Japan team member Eri had a tiebreaker. It was pretty interesting. So clearly been getting their stuff together just on an all-round basis, and it showed in these results. I'm really impressed.
I think mostly because of double time having a lot higher accuracy maintained, and causes the reason why they dropped their double time a little bit. Again, I'm kind of scared about this team on like easier pools and how they reflect on the higher overall difficulty maintained maps. But still, they do have like super raw mechanics team, and might be the reason they can help their team to drive at least one match forward. But I'm very pleasant by the HD result, by the way. Like, that is a pretty good HD team score that I would expect from some of these players, because knowing this team, they kind of don't like playing HD after all. So,
even just mods in general. I
yeah,
really didn't expect a lot of these scores.
But HD is more like how you... it's like if you have never played HD,
It's
you
more
cannot play it.
specialized, yeah.
Yeah, so 2.6 million on that is definitely W for them, personally. We'll see how they play in the actual stages, but again, another team that you know what to pick against. Moving on.
Oh,
See, turn here.
you can introduce the players, but maybe we should take each other's teams.
Okay, do
Just
it.
so we don't spill any intel. Okay, so we've got Hong Kong seating 20th. This team is a decent upgrade from last year. MTK and Jarvis Gaming kind of coming in for, some big support. Henry03 also getting a lot better in the last year to join the classic, I'm gonna say it, the classic D-ranker squad of Yongin, Brian, and Ching. Top 20 on everything, pretty good. A couple of really good spreads on the no mods. Nothing really sticks out to me as bad from this team at all. At least, like, even compared to the teams before, it's like, they're kind of just good at everything. I think this is the highest score set on Hidden we've seen. But yeah, MTK and Jarvis kind of coming in and putting a big shot in the arm of this team, who I think we're on a couple year streak of qualifying but not winning a match, right?
Yeah.
You would
Yeah.
remember better than me.
Yeah, we won 2 points basically because last year we faced, I would say, one of the strongest low seed teams and one of the strongest mid seed teams, unfortunately. This year, I do believe we have the power to possibly maybe take a match, but we'll maybe take 2 match. We'll see. But I think 1 match is more realistic. Realistically, again, it's based on how well it's MTK feeling. The pools. Jarvis again, basically the main player for the team, and rest of them we just fill in for the maps. Hopefully we can surprise some people. Hopefully, because we do get some really surprising scores, such as like No Mod 2 is actually our highest No Mod again, and No Mod 1 we kind of trolled a bit on No Mod 1, which you do see, and we do have the potential, and hopefully hopefully we can win 2 matches. But
Yeah.
one
In any
match
case,
is
it's a big glow up anyway. Definitely the best team you guys have had in a couple of years, which is nice. But then, you've got those couple other players waiting in the wings, just in case they, start wanting to play again. Just bring some 2-digit skill level instantly into this team. Maybe that'll happen one of these years, or maybe Henry will be a 2-digit this time next year. Who knows?
I did
So.
not play a singular map, by the way.
Oh yeah, but you got the brains. You are literally like the ultimate taiko brains of the operation. I mean, you got the knowledge to take this stream, right? So, all right, on to 19. You want to take this one since I just took the last one?
All right. After that, we go back to our regular 2. All right, this time it's gonna be
We were
France. We are right. Let's go. Yeah, we can laugh at Teasel and move in chat now. Okay, maybe
Well,
they.
I'm always laughing
they
at
are.
Diesel.
True.
I mean, what?
Maybe they are still. They can still be correct though. I mean, look at some of the scores. Like seed number 11 on No Mod 2 and seed
Oh, wow.
number 12 on Hidden. They were surprisingly being defeated on the No Mod 3, which is the speed we would expect this team to like. France, we think this team is more like a speed team usually. So this is a bit of a more surprising part about this team. They still have a bit of a firepower, able to push them forward to top 12. Honestly, seeing some of the scores in these maps, so a very wide range of scores, and basically the 2 main player again, Ranshi and Yanni. Yanni will see him single tapping 300 BPM again on stream. 390
Probably
BPM
single
on
tap
stream
that
again
no
this
mod
year.
1. Probably played that no mod 1 with 2 fingers, to be honest. Have you seen some of the clips? He literally will single tap at 270 BPM 7-star. Like, full single tap. It's so, like, uncanny. I don't know how he does it. But yeah, I thought this would be one of the more mechanics-oriented teams, and it's kind of looking like the opposite. I would say Itchart was also one of the more mechanics maps in the poll, just because of, the 260 section, all the bursts that I think were the hardest just burst like difficulty in the poll, but it kind of got them along with this, the speed no mod and the kind of speedy BT. So actually pretty interesting. I feel like this is a bit of a reverse of the skill sets we expected, but still a decent enough seed. They're gonna have maybe a winnable enough run to 32 match. It depends on what the other team is and how they feel in the poll, of course. All right, on to seed 18. Ooh. Okay, I did not expect. You know what? I think I'll like introduce the players, but you can take. You know so much more about these players than me, so you can take this one. We've got Vietnam. Look at that VT top 10. It's our first top 10 placement, everybody. If you look at the ranks, besides random name IDK, it's like fundamentally this doesn't look like as strong a team at just tapping the notes for like PP maps as the other team. So how did they do it, Youngin?
Yeah, Ma was the one who basically tell Bosch and who was the other one?
Diesel, Emerald.
Yeah, Diesel.
The other guys.
And we'll put them on 17 to 24 Origin. Yeah, I told everyone was like they are the best, one of the best 17 to 24 teams. Please trust me. And they did not make me look stupid. So good job, guys. Their best player is probably Buttermilk, which is actually their lowest ranked player on the team. So definitely look out for this guy. This guy can do some crazy magic, especially on some HD picks or anything that is not hard rock related, let's say, or double time related. I don't think he actually played the double time picks. So they do have 3 pretty big name players on DT. So congratulations to them, seeding 10th on DT. And No More is probably the weakest skill set for this team due to how, let's say, how their team lineup is. But definitely look out again. NJ and Buttermilk being the two main players for the team, and third being David Min, and the rest of the ones will just be filling in on some of the skill sets. Maybe Speed will see Random and IDK come in, because he's a really good speed player. Mafuyu as well, also pretty good at speed and hard rock in general. And they also probably come into field and hidden picks, so definitely a hidden one enjoyer guy. So a pretty well-rounded team. And Mentor making me not look like stupid. Making me smart.
They made you look absolutely in the know. That's an incredible placement compared to what I think most people expected. Certainly compared to what I expected. So the next 2 teams we're going to have are going to be, a pair that are going to be facing each other immediately, straight up in the round of 32. So who's facing seed 16? It's going to be the Netherlands. I was a lot higher on these guys, actually. I still think they can pull off some crazy wins and, make it. I had them top 12. I have them pretty high, but this is, one of the kind of staple European taiko countries. Of course, NL is where COE is held. They've got 6 experienced players here. Gosh, I can't speak. Cookie Tree, the captain, seasoned veteran. You may remember he was the best individual scorer in round of 32 last year. Just the best player. Second place was Peaceful, if anyone's curious. He beat Peaceful on an act poll. That's pretty hard to do. He beat everyone on it. But the duo of Gibiji and Right 4 might be where the kind of core strength of this team lies these days. They've both gotten so good in the past couple of years. The UK team had the pleasure of scrimming them, and on a couple maps, those two were putting the fear into us, putting the respect on their names the hard way. Top 10 Nomad 1, top 15 on a handful of maps. Actually better on EHR than on Hidden, which is very unusual for this country.
Yeah, I think, again, the main weakness, quote-unquote weakness for the team will be mostly on maps that Kokishi have to swap out, most likely. So, like, very speedy maps, like, very quick hard rock. I do believe this DT is just not dense or quick enough to let T3, to still let Kokishi able to do very well on, decently well on. Because once the tapping mechanics has passed his limit, it's going to drop a lot. However, if it's a map that he can play, then he can get a really high accuracy there. So definitely eyes on this team. They do have a bit of a picking strategy going forward. So let's see what will be the maps they destroy in actual stages. But definitely afford pick speed against this team if you see. If you look at the result of qualifiers scores alone.
Yeah, I think early polls favor this team quite heavily. This is a really good ACT team that just might struggle a bit on the skill cap, but I think they'll be okay on, say, the quarterfinals poll to take a second match. It'll be interesting to see.
And next up on seed 16, we are halfway through to the teams that already qualified, which is going to be the Philippines. The Filipino. This team, I kind of look quite. I would say that's an upgrade actually. Pochako is finally back after having your legendary 77% almost FC on 3 mod 1. Let's see if we see that kind of legendary play again.
One of my favorite TWC moments ever.
Yeah, a very well-rounded team, honestly. Especially with the maps not being that specialized, because a lot of them has like 3, because of Hidden Hard Rock being like one map instead of like 2 maps, a lot of the maps become more general, like route spread, like variety rather than just specialized. When it comes to specialized skill set, we might see this team have quite a tiny bit of a weakness. But for now, definitely a more speed favored team and also a slower HD favored team. 2.9 million on most of the maps, most of the modded maps, and again, ranked seed 14 on double time, so definitely your speed team after all. Kind of surprising on the free mod results, mostly probably due to because their hidden players, hard rock players are like completely different players, so it might hurt their chances to put on a double mod on. But still, a team I definitely look forward to, especially having so many high ranked players.
Yeah, it should be really fun, this team versus the Netherlands, because I said NL looks like a pretty strong early run team. Guess what I think of these guys? I think their AC is probably pretty good. Jama has infinite Yachar experience, which gives you good AC. Josh Eco has infinite Convert experience, which gives you good AC. And I'm sure on the run to 32 and 16 pulls, these guys will be able to field a third, really high score on each map, see him as NL. So that could be a barn burner next weekend. I think it could be a really solid match.
I still think Silicosis is actually one of the best players on this team. I still look up to that guy. We'll see how he performs in the actual stage.
Yeah, the Mania genetics can take you far. But on to seed 15, who we got? Oh, we've got Poland. I don't think they necessarily expected to seed this high, but here we are. I don't know if many people did. I had them top 16 personally, because Bernard has gotten very, very good at this tournament thing. Maybe not as high as his rank of 35 would signify, but listen, that's an unbelievable bar. And he clears most bars you could set for a player. The guy probably single-tapped the HR and was successful. The guy, as far as I remember, won 100 in No Mod 1. Let me check that really quick. Yep, tied for 4th on No Mod 1 individually, with 100. And he might not have even been the best player on their team, because Niblet came to play earlier today. I've seen some of the scores. He's amazing. They essentially have two really, really strong tournament players, so watch out. And they clearly have the support as well, because all of these scores are pretty solid. No Mod 1, despite Bernard, actually kind of sinking them down to a solid few seeds, though.
Now, the one who actually double mod FC on free mod is actually Niblet after all. I've teamed with this player 2 years ago in Suiji, and I'm kind of surprised by how well-rounded he is, and he did it eventually. And again, the solid roster of Niblet, Diluca, and Bernard will be the three main players. So usually maps that Diluca can be very comfortable on will be their strongest skill set. So mostly maps such as like slower BPM, like free mod, hidden, and I would say no mod 2 in this case will be their strongest point of the team, which is their three highest seeded maps. So we might see this team able to get even to move on to semi-finals if the map pool is just slow enough. Even though nowadays, I don't think slow map pool is a thing anymore. So yeah, we will see them banning out like maps such as like 220 BPM because of 240 density BPM map, because Diluca cannot play and it's not fast enough for the speed player to get a very high accuracy.
Yeah, Bernard and Niblet both playing all 14 maps, both placing top 36 individually. Two players of such quality on a team is something we've not had yet, and I think they're looking to lead the Poland team, the Poland team, to make waves this year. This should be their best result in a good few years if the seeding's anything to go by. On to seed 14,
Yes.
Here we got.
We got a bit of a surprising one, which is Finland dropping down to seed 14. Only one change of Masuli swapping to Hades, and it still got some really strong scores on the board, especially on maps that requires low skill cap but high mod cap. Look at the mod comfort. Yeah, the mod comfort on FM. It's basically the main story of this team. If this map pool is easy enough, this is one of the strongest team on paper. But if the map pool gets harder and more mechanically tapping focus scene, they definitely fall off quite a bit. So you can see the speed scores such as like No Mod 3 and No Mod 1 is one of their lower, just a No Mod pools in general, is one of their lowest rank after all. A lot of mod players and experience in this team to see can the map pool be easy enough for them to, I would say, even upset some of the early stages match.
Yeah, don't be fooled into thinking this is a 5-star team. Anti and Bananan, amazingly strong players despite their ranks. Both could honestly be ranked 200, and nobody would bat an eye. Of course, the two of them essentially 2v5'd a team of 5 top 100 players in Italy back in, I think, round of 32 2022, and actually won them, beat them without even needing a tiebreaker or anything against a team that was favored to get very far in the tournament. Huge upset potential from those two players. Gamer's decision, if you look at a hard, recently ranked map, he probably has an FC. The guy can kind of just play anything, he just plays. And of course, they've also got a first beater player, just in case the maps get very hard and difficult. Hard and very difficult and very fast, is what I meant to say. I'm tripping over my words here, but the reading maps are where this team's strength lies.
They're more like a 6-star team rather than like what you call a 5-star team, like 6-1 5-star team. If the map reaches to 7-star, we might see them fall apart. But for now, I do believe they can do very well in early stages.
Yeah, last year's quarterfinals I think would be pretty accessible to this team, so if it's similar this year, I would be very interested to see if they make it back to semis. I think there's a decent chance, despite their seeding not quite saying that of them.
Moving forward, on seed 13th.
Now this one's good. We've got Indonesia, and you might recognize the name there at the bottom. That is, as proclaimed by Great T, TWC 2022 MVP, most valuable player, XK 2238, rank 307. Skill-wise, you could take the 7 out of that rank. He is insane. Let me check performance scores. Where is he? Oh, lower than I thought actually, 31st. That kind of speaks to it because I thought it was going to be something like 6th. The guy's amazing, but clearly the rest of the team has risen up in the past couple of years. Since that 3rd place run in 2022, they just haven't really, brought any of the gang back together. And the team's been considerably weaker, but this is their strongest showing since then. Just really good across the board. Pretty amazing on No Mod 1, but nothing really stands out besides No Mod 1 and 3 as super high or super low for this kind of seeding position.
Again, I would say eyes on Sarah, new upcoming player from the Indonesian team. This is a 1-4 team, by the way. As long as there's like no 1-6 approach, this team gets significantly higher score in general. But that's why maps such as like No Mod 1, No Mod 3, where they're like no 1-6 involvement, they get a lot better. As well as 3 mod, I would say the no 1-6 theory works well for this team. I don't have much to add on.
XK,
just a
though, can play tag.
Yes,
They have
I do not have much about this team's much words about this team in general. But I would say there's lower rank players are not really their low rank skills. Like Ray, or previously known as Bad HD player, is also a 4-key Mania World Cup player. So they do have experience in World Cup stage, and they are here to perform.
Yeah, anyone that's gotten to a very high level in another mode, you treat their rank as a suggestion rather than an indicator of their skill. And something tells me the rank 4K player coming back for multiple years in a row in a country strong enough and deep enough to have tryouts for their TWC team, probably not as dangerous, probably much more dangerous than your average rank 3.7K player. But moving on to seed 12. Who's gonna be? There we go!
We have Turkey, yeah.
Did any of us have them this high?
No.
I had them 15-16.
Yeah,
I was like arguing for their. I was pleading their case.
I would say the one big change of No More 3 becoming an actual speed map instead of gimmick really helped this team, because it's another mechanic team. Once mechanic comes in, they just fight forward, especially the hard rock mod on. Hidden is their main weakness and also gimmick, but they still did really well in the 3 mod pick with possibly Fruko 1 mod and Fruko 2 mod and have their 2 players, which is 2 main players, Magif and Neuroji on hard rock alone, which those 2 players are really good at that mod. Look at the hard rock after all. Flicker and Samoa are mostly focusing on some of the stream maps and some of the HD maps, and this is the story of their team. Very clean weakness and clean strength.
The thing is, the hidden weakness can often lead to a bit of a free mod weakness, right? Because you can't really HDHR, blah blah blah. I don't think they really have a free mod weakness, especially not in the first few runs. I think they'll have a couple HDHRs maybe, but at the very least, they will always have one in Fruko. You know him, you love him. You probably use his SV editor, the community contributor, the former BN, the tournament and taiko legend that is Fruko Yuriko. 11th in overall individual performance, and his footprints are all over this set of scores. Probably got his team up a solid few 100,000 on that lowest placement of Hidden, and just kept them pretty high on most of the poll. I don't think any of us casters doing that prediction stream a few days ago were this high on them. I had them 13-16 and had to try and plead why they were that good, but even I was too low on this team. I think they can make big waves this year. Maybe we've been really underestimating them.
Maybe we are.
Alright, on to seed 11. Oh, Naya. You had this team top 12, right?
Yes, I do.
Yes, and you were like the only one? Well,
I'm the only
yeah.
one, yes.
Russia has seeded 11th. Oh, look at that Nomad 2. That is one of the harder maps in the pool, and they were a total of about 50k score away from the maximum as a team. Between 3 players, they averaged about 983, 984k. And that's one of the harder maps in the pool to do that on. That's really impressive. Looks like the mechanics are definitely the thing for this team here. In fact, it looks like the anything except Hidden is the thing for this team. When Hidden is involved, they seed 20th. When Hidden can be involved but doesn't have to, they still only seed 16th, but everything else real strong.
Yeah, this team synergy also kind of similar to our last team, and also same as last year. Basically, just remove Hidden and Gimmick, and they will be one of the strongest team on paper. But again, we mentioned that it's kind of dangerous for a team like this, because any team that go against, if there's like a strong Hidden team against them, or strong reading heavy team in general against them, will lead them into tiebreaker, let's say. But they do have some really strong no mods and some very strong DT scores to cover it up. Last year they were in a really close battle against Canada, which is basically the entire story of one team being very strong in mechanics, the other team being really strong at reading. The same can happen again. So they, same as last team, I would say they rank up, like their seeds and rank. They can upset some teams and also get upset by another team. A lot more flicker. A lot more flickering, I'd say.
The mental is honestly the main worry I have with this team is how hard are they gonna go in their practice weeks, how hard are they gonna play in their matches. But clearly they have the talent to place pretty highly. Taiko Shala in particular probably destroyed the entire pool except the Hidden. He tends to do that. He tends to be very good at just everything unless Hidden is involved, and clearly the support was there too. Now, before we go to C10, there's a pretty clearly defined top 10 here. The average score across the 7 maps that Russia achieved was 2096k. The next team had an average score of 2956k, which is a pretty big difference at a point that close to the maximum. And also, Yogan, you can take the next team because it's
your team. It's another kingdom. I basically
placing.
Last year placing, but the last year placing is gone because there is no more Gohigi, no more Mango Miser, no more Horizon, no more Daniels. The big names are gone, and now left with Over the Hedge, which is you, Botch, and Masionga, and which is Cloggy Bobby, and with some new names such as Ivra, My Angelcia, Eliminate, which is the number one rank.
Nathaniel, known as Eliminate. You might know from being number 1 in total all mode PP. My Angel Seiya is Megu, by the way. You might know him better as that.
Yep, and Eloise, very difficult to pronounce name because of how it types out. Again, another very well-rounded team, especially easier pools. You see Megu completely destroy. So a team that actually able to fill in some of the bases on like all of the skill sets, and you'll be seeing like, oh wait, Borch has to play speed. Are they weak on speed? Look at their scores on No More 3. Will you say
No.
you keep saying they're
Didn't
weak
I-
on speed?
Didn't I get like 993 then 994? Like, it was alright. Oh, wow, yeah. No, 995 then 6. Yeah, I was okay with speed map, for once.
For once. So,
maybe
yeah.
I'll make a theme out of it.
So for now,
Um,
this team I would say definitely doesn't have like a big weakness compared to the other teams. Maybe slightly bit on the hard rock because they don't really have like the third really known hard rock player and probably need Hyper to fill in.
Yeah,
still-
not having Gohigi doesn't help.
Yeah, but
Um,
still,
okay.
pretty good team. I'll let you take over on your own team.
I will say only a few things. First of all, after my first 4 years of playing, I feel like I have a lot to prove, and I will hopefully be able to play as such. Second of all, you guys don't realize how good Bobby has actually gotten at the game. It's not just mashing anymore. Third of all, you are not ready for Eloise. You think you are, you aren't. Sorry, I got to cut a bit of a promo there for my own team, but that's the benefit of being a caster, you know? Alright, now on to 9th seed. It's gonna be Malaysia. Wow. The DT? Alright, so we've got probably, I think this is the strongest Malaysian team ever. You got Cord 31 HP coming in as I think the obvious main carry of this team. But there's depth here too. I think this is one of the deepest teams outside of the prospective podium. Jerry's very good. Vun is amazing at just FCing maps. I'm not so sure about Zach. Zeth has FC'd about 10 trillion maps, so he tends to FC maps when, only given one try in a multiplayer lobby. Fong, I've been told by people including Youngin, is very good. And Henny has a decent amount of tourney experience as well, so even as presumably their 6th player is not to be slept on, I'm just looking at that DT. Like, that's insane.
By the way,
3.32 mil.
I want to add one thing, is that Fawn is actually a top score of DT, by the way.
What? Alright, let's see. Hold on.
Yes. Fawn is the
Let's
best
see.
score of DT. She has the best score on DT.
Oh my. Yeah, their team score is ridiculous. Alright, Fong with 9967, Cord with 9960, Zeth bottom scoring their team with 99.5 FC on a double time pick. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And the rest of the pool pretty solid too.
I would say this team is your no more hidden DT. They have 3 really obvious choice, and I would say 3 more is definitely they did quite well on, but it might be their weakness when it comes to past quarterfinal stage. And Hard Rock is definitely this team's weakness, like I mentioned on streams, prediction streams before. We'll see how this team turns out. I think the no more score is a little bit lower than what I would expected from this team, but definitely still one of my top 8 picks for predictions.
Now, before we move to the next team, I think there's a player that we should talk about, and I think it's a very, very good time to talk about him. So there's this guy called Crabcow. Here's where we should change country. There's this guy called Crabcow, and he was the best player in Malaysia for forever. Not forever, but for the last couple of years, he was their rock in TWC. Do you notice something?
Where is he now?
He got stolen. He got yoinked by Australia, and so did Necromancy from Chile, who was also a bit of a TLEC veteran. And their seeds 8 and 9. They're projected to face off in round of 16. Gonna be a bit of a kind of fight for Crabcow's love, I suppose. But the thing is, Crabcow is going to be involved, so that's going to be very interesting. Look at those mods. I guess not so much the free mod, but wow. 4 Beyond Stars, 4th place, 5th on the Hard Rock. Jai is back, by the way, and he's as good as ever. Let's see.
Not only
6th
that,
across the pool.
not only
And
that, they have covers in this year's roster as well, such as like Hungry Turtle got a lot better, and
Yeah.
stolen 2 players, one from Chile, one from Malaysia, Crabcow and Necromancy. and also Richie, also very good hard rock player. So just a team full of star power, I would say. Probably one of the best Australian team, and they are like to at least secure top 6 if that's their goal. Basically, no more is a little bit off, so
Yeah,
don't know what
probably
happened
just an
there.
it happens moment there. Maybe same with the Fremont. I think they have two, maybe 3 players in Jai Crab and maybe Hungry Turtle who could have HDH charted. I feel like it's worth mentioning. Jai 6 in individual placements. We've had teams with 1 such player. This team has 2. Hungry Turtle 420. First off, amazing username. Second off, also 14th overall. That's not to even speak of Crab Cow, who is still insane, or Richie, who is still insane, or Necro, who is still insane, or Rango, who is still insane. This team, I think, has incredible depth. So does Malaysia. This should be an insane projected round of 16 match.
According to Jay, they said if Casa asks on Showcase about their number 1 score, they just say it's tactical. Maybe they were tactical about the Malaysia versus Australia. They predict the
just knew.
seeds. They just
Yeah,
knew.
they just knew. There's a pretty big difference between Australia and the next team, and also Malaysia and the UK as well. So they had a lot of wiggle room there to actually force that match between each other. Because of course, if they were 9-8 instead of 8-9, it would have happened as well. But we're gonna get one of the silliest, awesomest matchups in recent TWC memory in the round of 16 weekend. Should these guys both win their round of 32s? On to the top 7. Oh, okay. This team gives me nightmares because in 2023 we had to play them in lower bracket and we lost by tiebreaker, and I've been playing tourneys 4 years and it was the first time I ever lost at TB. Ripped my heart out. Never been the same since. This is China. Super SSS you know because he is great. KK Negative you know for the same reason. Those are their 2 main carries. And yeah, KK and Super both top 20 individually. And the support is kind of insane as well. Minato basically for the faster, simpler maps, Ukura for the slower, more insane reading maps, and Michael for the extreme tech maps. Don't believe his rank of 2000. It's just a lie. It's really that simple. And you can see it in the results. Top 8 on everything. Just all of a sudden we've got teams that are that consistent.
Yeah, we went from team that has one significantly big not a big weakness, but a weakness to just a well-rounded team in general. Like we talk about in showcase, this not showcase but qualifiers predictions. This team able to cover up most of the grounds, maybe except if there's like a very techy hard rock one comes in. But this is a team that would just like permanent ban like hard rock maps in actual stages. Again, still a well-rounded team though. They're probably one of the strongest early stage teams.
Yeah. And I'd say mid-late rounds, they're absolutely no slouch either. I think top 6 is very doable for this team. I think that's where I had them placed. And I'm standing by that, even though they're outside it, because they just have such good coverage, and their carries are just so strong.
Yeah.
So, onto the top 6.
Which 6th place actually has the
Ooh.
same total rank as China. So they were decided by the average score, which Chile comes out on top in that case. And this case will happen one more time later on. So Chile, another really strong team, but this time have a bit of a clean weakness and strength. Look at that free mod, look at that HD. This is a really HD favorite team. Having players such as like Orko, Shibai Masu really love the HD mod, and also free mod, which they just put on HD HR and destroy them. And not only that, they have some very well-known, well-respected players from other modes as well, such as Miyuchi being ranked 43. So
Yeah.
in taiko, but they were
Rank 1 Mania 4-key.
Yes, so
Yeah.
still a very great player, and they actually got higher score than Orko and Shibamasu on HDXR. So that's how insane this team is.
Yeah, multiple podium placements. Second on the free mod. I wonder who was first. That team score is impossible without 3 HDHRs, which just on its own is extremely impressive. 1 mod on that map was okay, 2 was very, very hard. They had 3 players able to do it. Oko basically has a copy of himself, finally, in Chibamasu, just a player of the same caliber, the last Western player standing in top 12 of EGTS, that's like Japanese-only territory. Japanese, Peaceful, and Applers are like the only guys you see there, but Chiba was right in the middle of it. And that's not even to speak of Oko. And that's not even to speak of Miyuka. And also, Esconian is extremely strong in their own right as well. I think people are sleeping on Esconian just because they see the 3 2-digits. But this team could go very far. This is the first team that's come up that I think can actually make the podium. I'm just going to say that. I think they have that ceiling. If their third players clutch up hard enough, I think it's doable.
See, is it doable? They have such huge mountain to climb, and Seed 5 will be their first mountain to climb, honestly, and that being Taiwan.
Oh,
Yeah, this team.
Clock's rank. Oh no.
Oh no.
Don't say it, don't think it.
Yeah, this team, I root for them a lot last year. This year I become adopters, but they still did get a seat for the 5th place. Their roster did not change that much, only Surf Go changed to Clock. Mostly because of inactivity in general, I put them a lot lower than last year. But still, they got some really good scores on the board. Hard Rock having a 3-man FC after all, and No Mod 3 being 2nd place. I mean, they almost SS, No Mod 3 after all. Only achieving a 3 million on that, which is insane.
3 combined 100s on No Mod 3. Across their entire team, Monkey D. Luffy SSing, Palema with 100, Ariata, who you don't realize how good he is until you see him play a match, that guy, with 2. Bottoming their team on a couple maps, but 9th overall individually, Palema 19th. And the depth is insane. I mean, this is an extremely strong 5-player core. Harry, Hyrix, Monkey, Palema, and Yumiao. Losing Sepco is not nothing, though. So, you could say this is a weaker team than last year, but maybe player improvement will prove you wrong. And they were pretty close to the badge last year. They've got so much experience getting these badges. Can they do it again?
They do it again. They have never got 3rd place, by the way, so they are either 2nd or not in the podium zone ever in Taiko World Cup since like 2015. So
The only country other than Japan ever to win the Taiko World Cup. Ever.
the first team ever. So
It was in 2011 and 13.
A huge walls to climb for Chile if they at least wanted to make it to podium. And next one, it's the surprising one. You think of the 3 main teams, alright, which is, I'll just say it out loud, which is USA, South Korea, Japan. Who is the 4th one that actually beat Taiwan? There's no Germany this year, and it's actually going to be Singapore. I think it's a big surprise one, especially a lot of these players they did not play last year, and suddenly they came in.
Dude, look at the chat! Everyone was ready to post this for the past 20 minutes. They were just thinking, oh, surely it'll be the next one. But no, they're 4th, and Lara's back.
This team, not only Barak got it's an extremely strong player and also able to achieve some international recognition from other rhythm games. We also have some really good players to fill in the board, which is Odyssey, Prehistoria, and Teshi being basically the 4-player play in the qualifiers. Only these 4 players play in the qualifiers lobby, by the way. There's no GT, no chair is. The L is actually I. Haha.
Is it? Oh,
yeah,
what a troll, man. I was never guessing that.
The other 4 players basically cover all their bases. I would say this team weakness is actually the Hard Rock mod, but still, they did really well on and on, and I am so surprised by that.
Yeah, Laura, the 2nd strongest individual over the weekend. Average accuracy, 99.89%. I don't even need to list off a bunch of scores. His average accuracy is basically 99.9. That's all you need to know about that player. Prehistoria, also top 15. Odyssey 22, their 3rd best player, still 32nd overall. It just goes to show you that you don't need 3 top 20 players to do extremely well in TWC. You need three very, very good players, and Singapore kind of have two very, very, very good players and a god. The things Blurard did in 2022, one will
One.
probably never be forgotten. 4 100s on Spitfire DT, that thing was hard to hack, he didn't care. 99.9 FC on Ridge Control EX in a match. Can he do that stuff still? Again? I guess we'll have to find out.
Oh,
Onto the podium.
insane. That's
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say Singapore. I predict them 9-12 because I expect them to troll, but I never doubt them. Never doubt their ability. So hopefully they can perform as well as they did in this qualifiers because they are definitely a team that I would love to watch, a joy to watch. Podium time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, starting off with the USA, you can probably predict the rest, really. We've got Cheese
Yep.
Salad, Aurora, Phasmato, Miniature Lamp, Pet, RJ, Silver Tyrant. Did I just name any players that aren't extremely strong? It appears that I didn't. And would you look at that? It 236-256. There are no maps they're bad at. They probably inted No Mod 1 a little bit by the standards, had like one player miss one node or something. Second on a couple maps. Podium on No Mod 3. I mean, where's the weaknesses anymore in these teams? I think you can chalk up any misses that these guys had in qualifiers to RNG. Silver Tyrant, in particular, SS the Hard Rock, I remember that much. And, I mean, they didn't actually have anyone in top. Okay, Silver Tyrant was 20th in individual placement, and he was their highest placement. They just have such extreme depth. They have 6 top players on this team. Don't be fooled by, like, Pet's rank and whatnot. All of these players are extremely strong.
They also went from a hidden focus team from previous few years, slowly transitioning to a skill cap hard rock based team. And I think that's a very good choice because I think USA actually has so many players that I think that skill cap, just raw mechanic, is one of the skills that they should thrive on instead of going for accuracy. So something like DT1, which they can still perform very well on, probably like a small tiny miss from over there, but still, I would say this team should focus on less missable maps, like high act maps, and focus on like very difficult maps because the hardest map of the pool, they just completely destroy them. No Mod 2 and Hard Rock, insane score. You would not expect this Hard Rock score from USA, but this is a brand new USA you have never seen before. With Pet, Silver Tyrant, and Aurora, these three just makes such a strong Hard Rock team. Be aware.
Yeah, this has always kind of been a mechanics team rather than a raw consistency, like, kind of trickery your way into wins team, and I think they can lean into it more than ever this year. Not that they're bad at FCing maps, clearly, because you just need that consistency for a map pull of this level to seed super highly, and they've still managed it. But we have 2 teams above them. I think you know who they are, but what order are they in? Drumroll, please. Is my mic picking that up? I don't know. Alright, second place is gonna be South Korea. You kinda, sorta guessed who was gonna seed first, and you were correct. But look at that. Korea #1 in a map. They're not Japan. That's unusual. Last year, Japan's average seed was 1. But Korea top 4 on absolutely everything. The return after, a million years of Rosemary has been huge. Peaceful, by the way. Max scored every map in the poll, all 7 of them. Not a slider tick missed, not a 100 hit, not a miss. His average act on the spreadsheet that you will see later is 100.0%. And they also had the 4th best player this week. As you can imagine, Peaceful is #1. Kompaku is back, Applers notably is back. Currently made it all the way to the top 6 of EGTS, gotten into the finals round for next weekend. And, I mean, none of these players seem rusty. I mean, these scores are ridiculous.
Yeah, just a flat out crazy team. Minix is a small addition to the team, probably would not play that a lot of maps. So Minix is actually FC No More 2, so he got a chance to shine at least for their team. Good job for FC No More 2. But yeah, again, main focus are definitely on the 4-5 main players: Piso, Applers, Chosun, Kompaku, and Rosemary. Rosemary especially probably going to be assessing a lot of maps with Piso when early stage comes in. So a team that that is just super scary. Still haven't touched the number one just yet, but at least they're up their toes and able to beat our number one seeded in one map. And who's our
Yeah.
number one seeded team?
You
Here
guys?
it comes.
Oh,
Japan.
you can. But look at that, we got one. That's unusual. Fourth. But then you look at the rest of the column and you realize, no, things are normal. Just, it happens, you know. Sometimes you miss. Even if you are Japan, sometimes you miss. And they didn't get a triple FC on No Mod 1. That's the kind of level we're talking about. They had 2 tries on 7 maps, and they didn't manage a triple FC on every single one of them, and we're like, wow, that's bad for these guys. They are on, I think, a 12-year win streak, and it shows. Their average rank is 36. Most of their team is extremely underranked despite this. Group T, of course, assessing the entire EGTS qualifiers pool, which is not only 3 maps bigger, but much harder than the pool we had here. Not actually managing to max score the full pool. Miming actually their best individual performer at 8th on the spreadsheet over the week, because they just kind of have such infinite depth. They just spread it across their team and they still destroy everyone.
Yeah, Great T actually did not play a lot of maps this time. Probably the reason of focusing on another tournament, which is a very big tournament for him right now. He just let the others do the job, most of the job. I mean, that shows the depth of this team. Great T still comes in an SS Hidden 1 and DT1 though, so still a player you need to look out for, but their depth, some just crazy. Kantu, one of the best skill cap players in the entire tournament. Every half, very consistent, especially on double time, very high act. Miming a very good reading and tech player. Might enjoy Eru, probably come in for the HD mod and the hidden hard rock respects, and also hard rock and Nekomusia. Once again, another top 6 in EGTS. So that tells you how strong this team it is. And again, just like Bosch said, they are ready to take at least top 12, the 12th in the world for first place, the championship.
Yeah, I think they're going to take at least top 12, Young, and I think you're right. I think they'll get to semifinals this year. They might even do it in winners if they have a really good run.
True.
Yeah, this is the team to beat. This is the mountain that you have to climb to win Taiko World Cup. And all the other teams, they want to do it, but at the end, we're only going to have one. Will it be Japan again? We have about 6 weeks to find out.
We will be having our first week map push showcase really soon, as we're going to be transitioning to our map push streams. We got another classes here to cover us up, because we have been talking about for almost 90 minutes, and it's going to be our pooler with Vouch and another commentator, which also did the prediction stream with me and Bosch. Tiso, how are you guys doing?
We're good!
Oh,
They
hey,
sound
what's up,
very
guys?
fine.
You sound
What's
so excited. Why are you not sleepy? It's like so late.
I have
I'm
been keeping myself
Having a
awake.
wonderful time.
What do you
18
mean?
kilograms
It's
of
just so
coffee.
exciting.
What
That's
do you mean?
true. Tito seems pretty cool.
What do you mean? It's 6 a.m. at Hong Kong right now. It's 6 a.m. I'm doing a 6 a.m. casting.
Okay, but we all know you're built different. Come on. Anyway,
Okay.
I think we'll let you guys get on with it.
Yep.
Sounds
So,
good.
Hope the chat enjoyed the showcase, and we'll let the 2 other wonderful gentlemen to take over our voice. See you all next week. And Rafal, teaser, take it away.
Bye-bye.
Right, they're gone, we're in. And since the Asian players might be getting ready to go to school and or work now, what do you say, Teasel? You want to just get going?
Yeah, let's not waste time. We've been here a while, so our goal is to keep this under 2 hours.
Let's do it. No Mod 1 time. Elder Dragon Legend. Mapped by Eakin, played by Eakin. It's awesome.
Alright. Aiken, one of our incredible players, has been on the team for the Netherlands a couple of times. Has played at Seaweed GTS. Very much likes this kind of stuff, and very well known in the community.
Now, from the sort of cooler side, giving an inside perspective, I can say that this was picked because it's awesome. The song ruled. It has aura. It makes you feel like an Elder Dragon legend.
That's exactly what we need here to kick off the Taiko World Cup. This is the first proper pool, the first for the matches that we'll be having this coming weekend, and we want to see this one played a lot. It's all about your kind of normal kind of consistency. It's got some streams in there, just some slightly interesting patterning. Just try not to miss. Keep that accuracy high, and you will feel like a dragon legend.
Yeah, I mean, as we saw in the qualifiers results, this here has a very large skill disparity in the teams, so at least for round of 32, we want to keep things accessible for as many people as possible, including those at the lower ranges.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like we have kind of enough difficulty going on here where it's not just going to be completely free, and we're not going to have the teams in the middle seeding kind of having an accuracy battle and just coming down to luck. Skill is still going to be a factor for those sorts of teams, so looks like it's striking a decent balance so far. And, you know, we were even nice enough to give you a break.
Perfect length to get nervous.
Pick up those extra really crucial 100s that you really didn't need.
I mean, it's a slowdown right into the guitar solo, and this 1-3 part, like, oh god, no! Don't die.
Just get your CPR skills ready. Revive some teammates. And get ready for the final third to fight again against the Elder Dragon Legend. Yeah, fairly dense in this section. And it's just gonna keep going.
It doesn't end.
People think it looks harder than last year's No Mod 1. I would agree, if I remembered what last year's No Mod 1 was.
Last year's No Mod 1 was that map with the absolutely insane timing.
That doesn't help.
I can't remember the title, but it was crazy.
I mean, I think this looks like a great map. I think it plays into streams a bit more than I expected, but I think that's okay because generally you don't really get that many streamy picks within early pools because it'd be very easy for the star rating to rise up too high, and I don't know, just the consistency, the stamina needed. It can catch out a lot of players, but this is the World Cup. We want the best of the best, and we're giving it to you.
We're also going to give you another No Mod in the form of the, second one, No Mod 2. Medroom's Icon Killer.
And what an iconic artist this is. Hitting us with their very irregular sounds, irregular timings, because this is tech.
Yeah, as you can see immediately, the technical part is very evident in the 316 triplets.
Yeah, and oh, there's also some really tight doublets there as well.
Yeah, this is definitely a step above last year's map in terms of technical difficulty, but we keep it low with OD6. So
Yeah,
it's really
well,
just
making
testing to
accuracy-
see if you can do this.
Yeah, making the accuracy a wee bit easier, but keeping the full combo is going to be not too easy. There's going to be a lot of snappings and uncomfy patterns that some players, especially in the lower seeded areas, are not going to be super familiar with. So practice is going to be really crucial for this one.
Thankfully though, this part is fairly tame. You get to sort of recover if you've messed up the first half. You might have noticed that sounded a bit ominous because what comes after this?
What does the final quarter of the map hold?
The second half.
Oh, speeding up the SV a wee bit here.
And whatever the heck this snapping is.
I'm not going to give it a title there. It's a snapping. Slightly faster than 1.4. Doesn't look quite like 1.5. Maybe it's 4.5.
It could be. Something crazy along those lines. But that's
Talking
it.
about
Nice and short.
crazy things. You thought Nomad 2 was good. What about a third one?
No way, Nomad 2 also known as Nomad 3.
Just in case you didn't know what kind of map this would be, we even put it in the title. Speed Bomb.
Man, this sounds relaxing.
It does.
Uh-oh. Maybe I was wrong.
Did you put the right MP3 in here?
Oh, it seems to have changed after the intro, so we're going speed bomb mode.
Alright. So as we can see, it's what's the BPM? It's roughly on par with the BPM that we had in Qualifiers, but the density is just way lower.
Yeah, we're starting 10 BPM higher than last year at 270 instead of 260.
I think that makes sense. We've had a meta long enough where speed is really, really kind of integral to it all. Our players are going to be pretty well versed in speed right now. We got to kick it up. Yeah, patterning looking very, very simple, and density doesn't look too bad either. We have to take into consideration that each team does have to field 3 players for each pick, including Nomad 3. So wouldn't want to make it too difficult.
Yeah, even though it is very simple, people might be struggling with OD 6.5 on this. Especially with something like those finishers.
Yeah, fortunately they're very isolated and away from everything else, so you can kind of adjust hand position if you need, and, you know, you have a measure to recover. Alright, picking up at a wee bit in the density towards the end, we have some longer bursts here. But all is good.
That map exploded.
Kaboom.
Which means we gotta put it back together. Nomad 4. Black Society.
Diff name.
It's blank.
I like it.
It's all part of the theme. So
All
Nomad
right.
4 is, at least for this pool, it's just a basic SV map.
You mean no bar lines?
Yeah.
No flashes?
Yeah,
no
we're just going
tricolor
old school.
streams?
This is something you could see in ranked one day.
I mean, that worked out very well last year. I believe the Nomad 4 of the round of 32 last year was also pretty much entirely just SV gimmick.
Yeah, I think
There was
it
none
was.
of this really fancy stuff overall, and it's all about your reading. It's all about the practice.
Some would
Generally,
say they
we
need to know
see-
who played this, but I'm sorry to say it's also blank.
Oh no. But yeah, this one is often a pretty favourite pick among the lower seeded teams, as generally the difficulty, the mechanical skill needed to play the map is a wee bit lower, so it kind of comes down to your ability to practice this one. Of course, it's still not free, since we're not throwing in the absolutely crazy gimmicks that require memorization. We can afford to have some more technical skill involved. But I think it's still a good opportunity for those lower seeded teams. They can catch it, the higher seeded teams that think they can get away with it, think it's easy, don't put the practice in, and it comes to match day and they're like, oh no, I didn't think you'd actually pick that. And
Now
they
what?
lose.
Yeah, this is definitely not as free as it might look on the stream, because these lower SV sections are actually obfuscating a lot of offbeats. And since it is so low on the SV side, it's very easy to just start too early and pick up an entire pattern's worth of 100s.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that a lot of these streams look like they're all one stream stringed together, but there is There is gaps in between them. Gotta be careful for those.
Be careful indeed. And speaking of AC, you might have to be careful about that on No Mod 5 as well.
What have you got in store for us here?
We have Fentanyl at OD 7.5.
Oh, looking at the diff name, I'm seeing a trend. They mapped No Mod 5 last year, I believe, and also had, I believe it was Happy Little Streams was the diff name.
Yep.
So we return here with Melancholic Little Streams.
Yeah, this map is very doable, but we're sort of compensating for the simplicity with the rather high act requirements.
Yeah, once again, we've had streams as a fairly meta aspect of the game for the past couple of years. Sure, it's not the pattern, but it's not too far off of it. Should be fine, right?
Yeah. Once again, a slow middle section for you to get nervous on.
Have a wee bit of SV just to keep you awake.
Going into
Coming back in
more
with
streams.
the streams.
More streams and some little flashy bar lines, Jared. Just for effect.
Seeing some offhand stuff going on here as well, so definitely not the most simplistic patterning I've ever seen. But that's the point, we don't want to make things too easy here.
Yeah, there are your streams, followed by a nice little simple outro.
Nothing too long, nice and simple.
Simple, just like Hidden One, yeah!
Will this be the most banned map in the pool?
Could very well be, but it's also way easier than last year.
It better be.
I mean, it's 4.5 stars, how hard can it be, right?
Tell that to the players.
It's 4.5 stars, but it's also 145 BPM, which is very low.
Do we have any SV tagged onto this as well?
There is a little bit. It's actually a little lower than 145.
Oh.
Now, these doublets, as you can see by the replayer having to ghost tap like crazy, are very easy to mess up. There you go, they're done.
Alright. Yeah, this makes a nice change. A lot of the songs that we've had so far have been very intense. And this one is just a really nice classic from Sound Solar. Nice and chill. Really fits the Hidden One aesthetic.
However, you might have seen that 1/8 mini burst there. So,
I did. I don't know if everyone did, though. It was pretty slow. This is a very groovy map. I like it a lot.
It'll help you keep your composure when you're trying to read this slow hidden. Because imagine if you had this with like a really stressful song, that would not be nice.
Yeah, and rounding out with another 1/8 burst just to keep you on your toes. You know,
As you go
if you
in-
practice this at least once, you'll know it's coming up. Will you
Yeah.
miss on it? Who knows? But let's see if you'll miss on Hidden 2.
This one is more stressful.
What makes this one so stressful?
I mean, it's like Tetris. They just keep coming. The notes come down, you have to hit them, and if you don't, you're doomed.
Oh no. You didn't have to go and say that.
If you miss the notes, that's it. It's GG's.
Seen this SV increase. Interestingly, the BPM is only 170. I feel like normally we see these hidden these hidden twos are normally a bit on the faster side. It looks like we're playing more with the higher SV rather than the raw speed itself.
Yeah, similar to last year, we're focusing more on the reading itself than the playing speed. So right after this, I think we're gonna go slow again.
I respect it.
Both slow and full of doublets for those who played a couple of years ago. Back when that was the meta.
We've been through a lot as a game, and at least we can look back on it with fondness and all the skills that we developed because of it.
Yeah, someone put it nicely there in the chat. Last year was a timing map. This is more of a general reading map.
Yeah, I remember last year, it was rough. Like, as a hidden player, I was struggling to get 97 AC.
Damn.
Not that I made a team. So, don't use
But
me
still.
as a benchmark, but
A player is a player.
alright, looks like we have a repeat the Kiai right towards the end of the map.
Repeat with
So
slightly
you
higher
better hope
SV.
that your higher SV reading is consistent.
And that you don't miss these longer streams. Yikes.
Looking cool.
Well-
Looks pretty difficult. Maybe even hard. But is as hard as Hard Rock 1.
Perfect segue. It's gonna be a custom map by Ivy, who is probably in the chat. Hi, Ivy.
Hello. Also saying hello to Ivy. I'm not answering for Ivy.
Anyways, this song is very nice, very chill. 170 BPM again, but this time with hard rock instead of hidden.
Yeah, this song has some slightly more technical elements to it. I feel like it's been like Tokiwa is a artist that has been fairly popular in standard for these kind of nicer, like cutesy-ish, like sounding songs with like a technical aspect to them as well. They lead their hand very nicely to tech maps in standard, and they work really well as Hard Rock 1s and Taiko as well. Especially in the early stages, it's just like the perfect formula for them. So here it is. And you'll see more what I'm talking about.
Well, 1/8 on HR at OD 8.7 means you gotta be very precise with your hits.
Couple of doublets as well. And that pattern looked a bit unconventional.
Yeah,
The 1.6 was melded into the 1.4.
I'm noticing a theme here. We like having breaks for you to realize that you're either doing well or poorly.
It's part of the psychological warfare that is the Taiko World Cup.
Yeah, you can play the maps, but can you emotionally play the maps? That's the real question.
This is really just all a big experiment. What are the limits of humans in Taiko? This one looks pretty fun. Seems decently accessible towards non-hard rock players. The SV doesn't get very high at all. It's all about the accuracy and reading to a degree.
Yeah, it's just a very standard Hard Rock 1. Ooh, scary doublet. Ooh,
Don't forget about that one.
scary doublet, just as scary as Hard Rock 2. Ooh, the fast one.
this one might be some problematic for some players, as normal. Perhaps even the target of some bans.
Now, I have to say I'm very glad that the full title and metadata stuff actually displays on the stream, because it does not on our spreadsheet.
Can you please read it out for us? I can't quite see it, the text is very small.
This is by Kavario Manatabi Sound System, DJ Nikojita Shinonome IF, Last Servant. It's called Hardcore Mada, and it's the HVS version, and the Ura-Oni difficulty.
Sorry, I think my headset unplugged. Can you read that
No,
again?
I cannot do that again. Those who know, they know.
Alright. This one's a bit of a longer one, over 3 minutes. And 200 BPM.
Once again, over the 8.7, so this also has a certain amount of back requirement, but it's a lot more simple. It's basically all 1/4. Basically.
That looked like a wee bit of an SV increase there as well, coming into this KI, so it's a bit higher than 200 in the reading.
Yeah, it has some peaks and valleys.
The rig in the 1.6 is a bit crazy as well. But you know, it's 2025, our players have had more than enough time to get good at the game.
Yeah. Now, since Hard Rock actually increases SR now, I believe this is about 6.14 stars in game. Around those numbers. Which, incidentally, is about the exact same SR as Hidden 2 was before the star rating update.
Star rating is going all over the place at the moment. Everyone's still getting used to it.
Yeah, a couple maps might be looking a bit weird in terms of star rating, but that's besides the point. It's all about the notes.
You'll have to trust the pullers, that they know what they're doing. Probably.
Probably. In most cases.
Some of the patterning in these KIs is quite interesting. I'm seeing patterns that aren't generally used too often. So in a way it adds its own kind of reading kind of aspect as well. Can you recognize the patterns at this speed?
Definitely a challenge in this fast KI when the SV is at its absolute highest.
Seems like a good pairing to Hidden 1. Hidden 1 doesn't look too free. It's gonna be a map there where teams are not going to be getting all full combos and that. And I feel like this map is on a similar page, so it's good that it's balanced out that way.
Well, let's speed things up a bit. Let's go DT1.
Yeah, how are we doing for time? Are we going to reach our... Oh, we have 12 minutes.
We can do it. We can do it. Anyways, this is she. I might have missed a she. Anyways, uninterrupted Indigo.
This is your classic double time one. It's a bit slower. It's a bit more techy. Just like that. Often
Like
featuring
that,
a lot of doublets and even no patterning.
And a double 1-6. Whoa.
Yeah, this one's even slower than I imagined. But that accuracy is not going to be as easy as it looks. It's OD 9.5.
That's quite high.
It's pretty high.
That's even higher than Hard Rock 1.
What were the pullers thinking?
You might have to resign that earlier comment about us knowing what we're doing. Except this is actually really fun. In my humble personal opinion. Very unbiased.
And we are here to have fun after all.
You said it.
It's all about the good, fun, friendly competition.
Because the real winner is the one who had fun.
Japan.
Japan, did you have fun? Answer yes!
There we go. Another break.
Here we go again!
Big the Cat going kind of crazy on this one.
It's a big score for a big cat.
Will Big the Cat get a double S?
Ooh, watch out there. 1-8 sneaking in.
Don't let these simpler sections fool you with that higher OD. And our goat, Big the Cat, gets it.
Big.
Is it as big as DT2's BPM, though? Let's find out.
Was it? Is 240
Yeah.
as big? Yeah, it's about as big.
It's about as big. Oh, I recognize this song.
Yeah, it's a big classic from Standard, and it's just really chill. It's a major vibe.
I know there's an old catch ranked set of this as well, I believe. So it's made its rounds in Osu, so it's about time we got it here as well.
It's a bit, paradoxical, I guess, to have such a relaxing song on double time.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
oh, you gotta tap quickly, but you also gotta sit back and relax.
Yeah, it's the juxtaposition of it is, in a way, its own challenge.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot faster than you might think.
It's nice to have such a wide range of different kind of songs and genres within the pool. It makes the listening experience for both the players, the watchers, and the staff as well just a bit more enjoyable.
Especially when they pick this and DT hasn't been put on yet. It's like, nice.
I put it on and everyone starts panicking.
And go, DT!
How many people will request a Nightcore on this song? That's the next gamble that we're having on this Twitch. It's gotta be a lot. Quite a lot of triplets there in the breakdown section.
Another compart.
But not quite a break to see what your opponent's scores are.
No, you go right back into it.
We have very, very simple patterning on this one. It's all just about the consistency, really. The accuracy, too. It's OD 9.3, so it's also fairly high.
It's like high BPM, again, for the lower ranges, plus stamina, because it's 242 with DT. It's quite long.
And there we go.
There you have it. There's your double time pool.
I was about to
feel a bit
say,
more free now.
It's time for the TV, but no, we still have a couple more maps to get through.
2 more. First one's gonna be phony.
I think it'd be a wonderful time for you to clarify the FM rules for this tournament, because I feel like we'll probably get people asking, and I don't know.
Well, the free mod rules are quite simple. You can pick no mod, hidden, hard rock, no fail, in any combination of your choosing.
That's so free! You can do anything you want.
Anything you want. You can go full no mod, full hidden hard rock, full hidden, full hard rock, mix and match. You
Just
can't go
ideally
DT,
remember
though.
that no fail.
Yeah, I mean, just in case, it's always good to put on no fail because you never know what might happen.
You cannot put flashlight. That was not one of the things that we just listed.
Appreciate the question, though. Always good to double check.
Absolutely. We don't want to turn the tournament into a memorization game. So, flashlight, it's out of here.
For now.
Ooh. Perhaps some potential future shenanigans with funny laser mods.
Indeed. This map, though, is, you know, free mod 1. This is supposed to be the one that just about anyone can put on Hidden Hard Up with. Although this part is a little strange.
Ooh. Very interesting patterning. And because of that, some players may feel that one mod is enough. They don't want to risk it. Maybe their OD accuracy is not so great, so they decide to play with just Hidden. Or maybe they're not so comfortable with kind of Hidden having those notes disappear, so they just stick with Hard Rock. And
But that's the thing. With free mod, it's not about pushing your limits, it's about being comfortable. Doing what you know you can do.
Absolutely. Because if you try to do too much, you may just stumble, fall, trip up. Who knows? So it could be better to stay consistent with what you know and love.
Nice little build-up section, little bridge.
Yeah, 170 BPM is a very nice sweet spot for Hidden players kind of being comfortable enough with it that it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Hard Rock players being happy enough with it where the accuracy isn't going to be too significant of a problem either when it comes to the reading aspect as well. And the Hard Rock will be too fast when you also slap Hidden on there as well.
So, free mod 1 is very accessible. You can mod it just about any way you want, but that might not be the case for free mod 2.
It's Blast Plus 2!
There we go, Blast Plus 2, also known as Riganara, which is
What?
the anti-mod map.
This one looks very slow to start off with.
Very slow to start off with, but also very wacky. A little bit of a No Mod 4 energy on this.
Oh, that overlap was kind of crazy.
Funky SV. Bit of an overlap there too into the slow part.
Oh my gosh, the poor Hidden players. What have you done to them?
Gotta be careful. At least it's basically just 1-2 notes.
True. I am praying for them though. Let's see
for
some
them and-
higher SV for those Hard Rock players, right?
Yeah, pray for them and pray for the poor Hidden Hard Rock players who have to deal with both high and low SV.
Oh, here we go. Some wavy SV. Favors Hidden. Another tough looking overlap there. Finisher hiding some of the other notes.
Little mini slider. Bit of extra score.
One quarter left to go.
I wonder what the third key I will have.
It better be higher SV than we've seen.
Well, here we go. Let's see if you're right. See if you get what you want.
Oh yeah, this is exactly what I wanted.
There it is. Wish granted.
Oh, Hard Rock players suffering, it makes me so happy.
Right at the end.
Oh,
Making sure you
yeah.
cover all the bases. Screw over every mod. But you
And
know,
I think we have one thing left. What if the
yeah, one
players
that
tie?
won't screw them over. What if they tie? What if they play every map? Then what? You gotta have one more for them. Let's check it out.
宝物を忘れたまま息をしてる気がしたんだ本当の闇を知らないから君を星に託す
Driven by survival, we reach for the stars, unlocking secrets of matter and time. But in this ascent, we refute the great filter of humanity's existence. Ambition, the great architect of our progress and our ruin. The fire that lifts us, and the flame that consumes us.
Alright, so what did you think of that? That was Poseidon's Rage by Fraser Edwards. Thought we were missing some metal from the pool, so here it is. In here as the tiebreaker, and of course paired with this absolutely amazing background, also made by Fraser Edwards.
Ain't that crazy?
People of many talents.
Self-sufficient
so-
band.
Yeah, and I believe I might as well shout as well because people were asking. The singers, as stated by Fraser Edwards, is Anna Maria Rose and Ricky Ascension, both of whom are in the chat. So thank you very much for being here and putting together this amazing song for us to kick off the Taiko World Cup here, round of 32 tiebreaker. How does it get better than that already?
Well, there's a couple more weeks to go, so I don't know about better, but there's definitely more to see.
Yeah, this has
That's for the
been
future.
an incredible reveal. Thank you to everyone involved. It's been a joy, a pleasure.
Yep, indeed. It has been great, but we seem to have failed in our 2-hour estimate, so let's quickly wrap it up and say congratulations to everyone who qualified. Thank you for trying to everyone who didn't. Good luck practicing the pool. Thank you to the mappers, Fraser Edwards once again, to Teasel, to the viewers, to Trosk for streaming, and we'll see you all again next week. Bye bye.
See you then.